Hello and welcome to Maths by SAS. This is my first lesson of D2, chapter number 3, exercise 3A, that is about expansion and factorization of algebraic expressions. Before going to the lesson, there are some key terms that we need to understand for better understanding of the lesson. As we all know that every country and every region has its own language, and language helps us to understand the requirements and needs of that area. Same for the concepts of mathematics, every concept has its own language, symbols and notations that we need to understand for the better understanding and for grasping that concept well. So same for this concept, there are some key concepts that we need to understand before going to the exercise. That what is an algebraic expression? You have the clear idea and understanding of the algebraic expressions from D1, chapter number 4 and 5. What does the term expansion or expand mean? And expansion means enlarging, and expansion means removing brackets. And what is index or power? We know that when we are multiplying two numbers or two variables with the same basis but with different powers, the number at the top, this is called the index, exponent or power. And when there is no number written at the top, it means that there is the number 1 over there. What we will be doing, we have to write the base ones and we have to add up the indices. Like here we have to index 2 and here we have index 1, 2 plus 1, and this gives me x raised to power of 3 or x cube. And index tells us that how many times that number is multiplied by itself. And then coming to the last point, that expansion is the reverse of factorization. Let's move to actual lesson. First thing that we have to understand is that what is algebraic expression. It's an expression that consists of algebraic terms, then operation symbols plus minus multiplication and division or brackets. So we know that an algebraic expression is an expression that involves letters and mathematical symbols. And then the second important thing is that an algebraic expression has no equal sign, because when we put equal sign or equate an algebraic expression, that will no more be an expression, that will become an equation. And then coming to the types of algebraic expression, for the basic level, I'm discussing only two types of algebraic expressions here with my students. One is the linear expression and the second one is the quadratic expression. What does the term linear expression means, or what is the general form of the linear expression? If we look at this expression, we can see that x is the variable of this question and this expression, and a is the number before the variable. So a is called the coefficient and b is added to this, so b is constant and x is the variable. And if we look at the power of x, the maximum power or exponent or index here is 1. So it's a linear expression. So it means that the linear expression is an expression in which the maximum, the largest or the highest part of the variable is 1. Coming to quadratic expression, the general form of the quadratic expression is ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, and where it's really important that a, if we look at this expression, a is the number coefficient before x square. It should not be equal to 0. What is the reason why this should not be equal to 0? Look, if I'm making this coefficient of x square 0, when this x square will be multiplied by that 0, we know the rule that when anything is multiplied by 0, that whole term or the number vanishes or becomes 0, and we will left with bx plus c. So that is no more the quadratic expression, that becomes the linear variable. So quadratic expression is an expression in which the maximum, the largest, the highest part is 2. Okay, now let's move to the understanding of the concept that how to solve the situations that says that simplify the algebraic expressions that or expand the given expression. As we know that expansion means the removing of brackets, so what we have to do is we can see that this question x into y plus z is containing one bracket. Now what we have to do, we have to apply distributive property carefully, that the number or the letter which is outside this bracket, that has to be multiplied carefully with every term inside the bracket, and the term or the expression which is inside the bracket, that has to be treated as the single package. And now we can see that this x is outside this whole package, so what we have to do, that x has to be multiplied by y. This is the sign of multiplication, and then x has to be multiplied by z. So we have removed the bracket xy plus xc or parenthesis, and we are applying actually the distributive property. Coming to the second problem with the numbers and the mathematical operations or signs, we know the rule of integers, that when we are multiplying a positive quantity with a positive quantity, the answer becomes positive, and when we are multiplying two negative numbers, answer is positive. But when we are multiplying a positive number with the negative number or negative number with the positive number, answer becomes negative. So these are the rules of integers that we have learned in D1. You must have to keep these rules in mind, because in lessons of mathematics require the continuous practice and integration of the previous lesson with the new lesson. If the previous rules are clear to you, the next lesson will be really easy for you. Now what I have to do, it's better that I have to rewrite the question. Let me rewrite the question. This is 3x into 3 minus 4x. Now what we have to do, we have to remove these parentheses or brackets, or what we have to do, we have to apply the distributive law carefully, that the number which is outside this bracket, that has to be multiplied with every term inside the bracket carefully. Now the question will take the form minus 3x, dot stands for multiplication, and then minus 3x multiplied by minus 4x. Now look here carefully, that here if you look at the sign of this 3, there is no sign, or it means it's a positive sign. So when this positive sign will be multiplied by this negative sign, answer will be minus, and the numbers will be multiplied by the numbers. This will become 3 3s are 9x. Coming to the second part, when this minus sign will be multiplied by this minus sign, this will become plus sign, and when 3 will be multiplied by 4, it will become 12, and when this x will be multiplied by x, it will become x. As I'm doing this lesson for my beginner class, for my young students who are joining the class for first time, so I am going really slow. Okay, and the question will take the form minus 9x plus 12x square. I hope you are clear about today's class. For the understanding of next lesson, you have to watch, understand this lesson, and keep these key rules in your mind. Then the next lesson will be really easy for you. Please watch my lessons, like, share and subscribe the channel, and press bell icon to get the notification of every lesson in time. Thank you very much.